All right, guys. We are here today. We got we got some red action in markets, but honestly, yesterday was a very strong day. We got some tariff news coming out, or that has come out in the last 30 minutes. The U.S. could adopt a tool that applies up to 50% tariffs on partners, is one of the releases. We got German bond auction. Basically, the current administration is also getting some pressure to rethink AI chip curbs and levies. So we'll see if that happens and what that means for everything. AI chip curbs. Let me do a poll. Let me get some music going here. Hold on. Let me know what the music sounds like as well. Yeah, so they're saying, hold on, let me put this up. Yeah, so they're saying the president is considering a two-step approach to his new tariff regime, using a rarely used power to impose emergency duties while probes into trading partners are completed. The proposal, they're debating certain proposals that would seek to put down the reciprocal tariff regime in a more robust legal framework while enabling the current administration to raise money for planned tax cuts, said people familiar with it. He has obviously pledged for April 2nd, Judgment Day. He's calling it Liberation Day. Yeah. Yesterday, he vowed to impose a, quote, substantial tariff on U.S. trading partners, and he even suggested he may give some countries breaks. He said, quote, they've charged us so much that I'm embarrassed to charge them what they've charged us, but it'll be substantial, he said, hours after announcing a new tariff on buyers of Venezuelan oil, which includes China. One of the proposals he's talking about is he's going to launch so-called Section 301 investigations into trading partners, while also using rarely invoked emergency powers to apply immediate tariffs in the interim. The tools he used to hit the different partners with could include the use of International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which is a little-known U.S. trade law, or a little-known U.S. trade law, Section 338 of the Tariff Act of 1930, to potentially apply tariffs of up to 50% on the country's trading partners. People familiar and also his attorneys are also attorneys and people familiar also say that the plans say the current administration could immediately apply tariffs on vehicle imports on April 2nd, resurrecting a national security study into global car industry. I don't know. I don't think he's going to do cars, personally. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think he's going to do cars? We'll do a poll here. Yeah, where's Tesla? I know Tesla was flying up yesterday. Tesla at 280s, all the way back. Shorts are getting squeezed out of this thing too, man. Here's Tesla on a 10-day chart. You can see Tesla back. That's good. We'll see if it continues. Yeah, I heard a lot of people talking about a bull trap yesterday. I mean, it's obviously not looking like that right now. And maybe it changes. Like, maybe we get some pullbacks, some different stuff. But yeah, I heard a lot of people talking about a bull trap yesterday, but the market's up significantly here. There's big movements on the upside for markets, so we'll see if it holds. Are the bears done? I don't know. We're gonna do this. Y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's try to get 300 likes in the first 5 minutes. We'll see if we can. Yeah, definitely a big relief rally Nvidia, one of the ones helping it. Q back up to almost 490s. When was the last time the Q was at 5s? So the last time the Q was at 5s was early March, so about 3 weeks ago. You know, we're heading back up there, though. I think 5 is a big level in the Q. If we're looking at the NQ specifically here, we're over 20K. I think that's a big milestone level right here. We're over 20,000. So you can kind of see we dipped under 20K, rebounded all the way back over, and now we're at about 20.4s up here. That's what the market looks like today. We got a lot of tech stocks rising too. Tesla, one of the reasons, obviously, we're bouncing back. Tesla all the way back up to 280s. Again, Tesla had a really weak couple months. We could put a longer term chart up for Tesla to show kind of the path it's taken to get where it is now. Here's a 4-hour chart. You can kind of see Tesla's downfall has been since December. So Tesla has been falling down brutally since December. Found some legs at about 210. Started to rebound back up to 280s, but it's still down pretty substantially. But I think a lot of shorts are getting squeezed out of Tesla. And honestly, Tesla is a good company. People hate it or whatever right now, but honestly, Tesla's built up a lot of information. They've got a lot of data in EVs and full self-driving technology and robotics. They've just got a lot of information, a lot of valuable data. And so I think Tesla's going to be fine. But we'll see. You know, you never know. We'll see, but I think it'll probably be fine. Meta, another stock that's bouncing back. If we take a look at Meta here, Meta's doing a similar thing. Meta's been falling since February. It's back up to 625s. Fell under 600s for a little bit. It's back up. We can take a look at Apple. Yeah, Apple ended up dumping. Apple's been falling since December as well. Fell all the way to 210s, back up to 220s. That's good. Microsoft, which is a partial owner of OpenAI, they have been falling since December as well, although they're starting to head back up. The real question, though, a lot of stuff looks like this, right? And again, so the question is, are we still in this downward trend? Are we still in this downward trend? I don't know. I think some stocks, we could certainly still be in this downward trend. But others, you know, it's hard to tell. And remember, next Wednesday, I'm sorry, is the quote-unquote tariff day, liberation day, doomsday, whatever you want to call it. All right. We're here. Yeah, Microsoft. We got Google coming back up to Google back up over 170s. Palantir almost back up to 100s. Palantir has honestly had less of a negative reaction than some other tech stocks. Palantir getting back over 100 could signal some bull action too. Yeah, well, we got GameStop earnings today as well. Yeah, so Tesla up there. Netflix still not over 1,000. It's had 970s. Yeah, so we've had some news that come out this morning. Russia senator said the U.S. and Russia did not agree on a joint statement on Monday after 12 hours of talks in Saudi Arabia due to, quote, Ukraine position, according to an IFAX report. Airbus exec says next single-aisle jet would be available in the second half of the next decade, and technology not yet mature. Yeah, we got GameStop earnings today. Yeah, so Pawn sent me an article that says Tesla sales continue to struggle in overseas markets. Recent reports show that Tesla sales for the first 2 months of the year are down 43% in Euro markets. Some of the sales decline is attributed to Elon's political backing, and as the prime backer for the current president, Tesla is struggling in European markets while other EV makers are seeing some progress. Volkswagen's BEV sales are up 180% last month, and China's BYD on Monday reported more revenue last year than that of Tesla's. Seeing that Tesla is struggling to get and retain customers in overseas markets, the question remains, has Elon's political bias and outspokenness hurt Tesla's future growth in overseas markets? All right, so we did have building permits that were just released pretty early. Building permits kind of come out randomly throughout the day, though. But here is building permits that just dropped. They showed up at 1.459 million, which is a minus 1% change. I'll put this data up on chat. There's building permits, 1.459 million. The actual change in building permits is right here. So there's the building permit data that just released today in economic reports. We got the K-Shiller house price index, CB consumer confidence. K-Shiller's interesting report. It drops at 9 o'clock. We'll stream it. Yeah, we don't know how much things are actually going to affect everything, but it's worth watching. So I'm seeing this article about global deal making slowing. So according to the Financial Times, they're saying that the number of deals announced since the start of January is the lowest in over a decade, according to Dealogic. There have been about 6,600 global transactions announced so far this quarter, which is down almost 30% year over year and 44% under the peak of 2021's deal making. So deals are down overall. So we also had some members of the ECB speaking. They said the ECB, which is the European Central Bank's April meeting for their rates, is completely open and they need more data. They said we are already in the neutral rate zone. But yeah, we had a lot of tech people pushing the current administration to rethink the AI levies and the chip curbs. So Nvidia and Oracle are pushing for a full repeal of the AI diffusion rule. The UAE and Israel, as well as India, among countries pressing for lighter rules, and companies need to comply with AI global curbs by May 15th, they're saying. So May 15th. ECB's Mueller, also talking about the European Central Bank, says that they're not sure how much more or when ECB can cut rates any further will depend on tariffs and can't roll out a pause in rate cutting. They said rates are not restricting economy investments. Tariffs are likely to mean faster inflation in short term, but they're open to discuss rate cut or pause in April. Services inflation will be key. So that's an interesting look at it. And let me catch back up on the chat. Have y'all paid the like tax, guys? Have you paid the like tax yet? All right, I'll end this poll. I'd love over 100 likes, and I think we'll probably get it, but we'll get another poll in. I think the only question to really ask today is leading into April 2nd. Does the market move up or down relative to where it's at now? Bull move or bear move? That's the poll. Again, Palantir still pushing up. Nasdaq at 2040s. I think I ended green yesterday, although it was very slight. Hey, thank you, Straight. Yeah, no, I understand. Straight, I understand. I'm not saying I agree, but I understand that argument for sure. People bring that argument up all the time. For me, it has to do with just value. Like, where's different stuff? Like, I'll look at Tesla, Disney the same way. I would be careful, Sam. There might be some scammers. I don't know anything about that. Let me look up. AI can usually help me out with this. All right, let's see if it shows me today. Let's see if we got anything else going on. All right, so yeah, U.S. February building permits revised to -1% from -1.2%. The annual rate to 1.459 million units from 1.456 million units. See anything else that's going on? We covered the building permits already. Some overseas stuff going on. All right, so stock futures edged a little bit lower today following a big rally yesterday. Major indices hit 2-week highs. The initial surge was driven by optimism over the president's hints at a more flexible approach to tariffs. Shares of Tesla are down 0.4% in pre-market after a big rise yesterday. Part of the reason Tesla's down again, market share losses in Europe, is one of the articles Pawn sent me this morning. KB Homes down pre-market today. You can kind of see it down pretty significantly after, I believe, earnings. 8% down after the company reduced its full-year revenue forecast, citing ongoing challenges. We got Mobileye up 8.8%. Mobileye is MBLY. It's up. We got Net, which is Cloudflare, with earnings as well, up to 131s, 5.4% rise. Again, the president's recent comments suggest a potential softening of the upcoming tariffs on April 2nd, leading to initial market optimism. However, uncertainty remains. Be careful. Thursday and Friday are going to be huge days. All right, guys. Do you think short sellers in Tesla are getting squeezed out? I think that's something that's definitely going on today too. I think we see it now. Yeah, another aspect of Tesla is shorts getting squeezed. All right. Let me catch back up on the chats. Pump or dump at the bell. I don't know. Looking at our poll, 65% are bullish. 65% are bullish. So U.S. gas flows to Freeport LNG's export plant in Texas are to increase today after a lightning strike on a pipeline caused flows to fall on Monday, according to Reuters. Let's see anything else going on. Yeah, we got some stuff there. Building permits released. Nothing yet. We got the K-Shiller house price index. I don't think we have anything ahead of this. Let me make sure. We've got Kugler speaking at 8:40. So it is 7:50 right now. So in about 50 minutes. We've got Kugler speaking. We got the K-Shiller at 9 a.m. Expectations are a 4.6% increase in house prices. We got John Williams giving the opening remarks at 9:05 p.m. And then at 10 a.m. we got CB Consumer Confidence. We're going to cover all this stuff as well. John, how you feeling about PCE or GDP? Could they stop or fire the rally? I think they could do either one, to be honest. I think they could honestly do either one. I think if PCE comes in hot, if GDP comes in weak, the rally's going to end. I think if PCE comes in low and GDP comes in strong, we might rebound even more. And so I think the context of everything depends on what happens there. And I think, the market's rallied over the last few days. The market has absolutely rallied over the last few days. And PCE and GDP data have the ability to alter that rally or propel it further. And so that's something I'm going to, wait to see. Again, PCE, if we're looking at the expectations for everything here, GDP expected at 2.3%. This is the final revision. So this is the actual GDP we're going to get for the quarter. And then, PCE data is expected for core PCE at 2.7%, which is actually a 0.1% uptick versus what it was last time. Last time it was expected. Last time it showed up at 2.6% for core PCE year over year. This time they're expecting 2.7%. So they are expecting inflation to go up a little bit. And so we'll see what that looks like. Yeah, Palantir's rebounding as well. Palantir all the way back up to 97s, 97.30s. So it's looking very strong. Yeah, the only news that I see coming out, and we're going to start pivoting this channel to cover instant news when it drops. I've got this big monitor. I might as well use it to get data. So that's what we're going to start using this for. Right now, the only real news is coming out overseas and the conflict news. But hey, what's up, Faye? Yeah, looking at our poll. So basically the question we asked for our poll today is, will the market rally into April 2nd? I think it could. I think it absolutely could rally into April 2nd. But I also think it depends on what, as we said earlier, what PCE data, what GDP data shows up on Thursday. Jobless claims also shows up on Thursday. Tomorrow we got durable goods. Today we got K-Shiller. And so we got some stuff dropping, but Thursday, Friday going to be the biggest reports. And then next week's actually busier than this week, I would say. Next week we got payrolls, unemployment, JOLTS, ISM manufacturing data. We got April 2nd, which is a freaking ridiculous day. And so honestly, we just got so much stuff going on. Yeah, we got CB Consumer Confidence at 10 o'clock today. We got the K-Shiller House Price Index, basically how much house prices are increasing or decreasing. That's at 9, so in about an hour, we got the K-Shiller House Price Index is what it is. In terms of earnings, I see some people talking about earnings. Yeah, it doesn't say what time they're releasing their earnings for RUM. It just says before the open, so I don't know what time they're going to come out. We had Canadian Solar miss EPS, miss revenue. McCormick miss EPS, miss revenue. A couple other small companies. None of these are really big. We got GameStop this evening, though. We'll try to stream it, too, but... yeah, it's weird. It's like we got April Fools. We got unemployment and payroll numbers that week. We got the JOLTS report, too. So just to put this into perspective, Monday we got Chicago PMI. Monday's the slowest day. And then another ironic thing is that we also have Tesla. I believe we have Tesla delivery numbers. It's the end of the quarter. And so I'm pretty sure we got Tesla deliveries too. Let me make sure. You know, last year the numbers came out April 2nd, guys. So the last time Tesla delivery numbers came out last year for the same quarter, the date they released was April 2nd. And so on April 2nd, we have tariff judgment day. We've got Tesla delivery numbers. We've got the JOLTS job report next Tuesday. We've got ISM manufacturing numbers and more. And so next Tuesday, Wednesday, is going to be kind of crazy. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, we got so much stuff dropping from now to then. Just be careful, guys. Just be careful. We got PCE, GDP, JOLTS, ISM manufacturing, Tesla delivery numbers, and more. So just be careful. Yeah, well, it's definitely going to go to the right. The real question is, do we go up or down? And I think a lot of it is going to depend on what GDP is. Again, GDP is gross domestic product. It's basically producing... it's basically all the sales from all around the country, all the spending from all around the country, basically. And, yeah. Again, it's a day in which, like, you just want to be very careful. You just want to be very careful because we got a lot of stuff happening. We got GDP data. GDP is probably going to come in around 2.3%. PCE data, though, is much more... influential, I'll say, versus GDP. Unless GDP shows up at a shocking amount, like under, I doubt it's probably gonna show up at 2.3%. PCE inflation data, that's the Fed. That's what the Fed uses to gauge inflation. They're already expecting an uptick in inflation 1%, or I'm sorry, 0.1% for year-over-year inflation, for core inflation, which is what the Fed looks at. They're already expecting a 0.1% uptick to 2.7% from 2.6%. Not only that, but the whole market is watching for inflation data right now because of the landscape of everything going on with the tariffs, with the fears of economic weakness. A lot of people are talking about the yield curve over the last couple weeks. So it's something that you just want to be careful with. I don't know how much consumer sentiment will really move things. I usually try to be honest. I don't know if the consumer sentiment is going to really move things or not. We'll have to wait and see. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. In terms of like consumer sentiment moving stuff. Like sometimes it'll be wildly influential and other times it won't do anything. So durable good orders yet tomorrow, same thing. The K-Shiller will give us an interesting look at house prices. Also, guys, if you haven't already... Whoa. Bro, I didn't even hit X. I literally copied. And it just literally just deleted everything I had. I gotta restore everything. Whoa. Weird. What happened? Hold on. Sorry, I must have accidentally like clicked. Let me fix this. All right. Yeah, we got our daily post, our daily news post too, man. This breaks down literally everything going on in market. So if you want like a full rundown of like tariff news, futures news, tech news, earnings, trade developments, economic reports, and a full economic calendar for the week, as well as what's going on in all the Mag 7 stocks, follow this X.com page. Give me a follow right there. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, I think they're getting squeezed out right now. Yeah, my timer's not really up. We don't really have anything. I mean, I guess I could do K-Shiller. I don't really have anything to count down to. Oh, yeah, guys, the scammers are now pretending to be NVIDIA. Y'all be careful. You get somebody that desperately wants sponsors, they might actually like believe this. But again, listen, this is an email I got this morning. Hello, beginner trading. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Margaret, and I am the public relations manager for NVIDIA Corporation. We have been following your activity on YouTube and value the excellent quality of your material and your ability to connect with and inspire followers. We're excited to inform you that we will be shortly introducing a new collection of AI-powered graphics cards. This is just total nonsense, right? These are absolute scammers. They had to have some writer write this, and they put the date and they put NVIDIA. Like, I checked the URL. This is how you know it's fake. You check the URL. If it doesn't have NVIDIA in the URL, it's fake. They're just trying to scam me. They're probably gonna like need me to send them something, click on some link, click on some file, log in somewhere, pay some type of startup fee or something like that, and then they just got me. That's usually what they do, and so that's what they're doing here. But now they're pretending to be NVIDIA, unfortunately. It's getting bad. All right, so the secured overnight financing rate showed up at 4.31% for March 24th versus 4.3% on March 21st. So that's interesting. See, it's weird. I followed one. Let me see who I followed here. There it is. Yeah, so Mexican retail sales showed up at 2.7%, 0.6% month to month. Activist investor Keith Meister will join the board of directors at Illumina, according to Wall Street Journal. All right, so Cognizant Technology, which is CTSH symbol, is going to discuss long-term growth strategy for next wave of AI-driven technology, and the board approves $2 billion increase to buyback program and 500 million shares to be repurchased in 2025 for, again, symbol CTSH. Cognizant AI company. Looking at the trend of this, CTSH. Good long-term trend. But still kind of new, kind of young as a company, and so we're still watching it. Palantir, again, speaking of AI companies, is up big. Nvidia's down some today. Tesla is slightly green on the day, so Tesla is honestly rebounded back up. I think shorts are getting squeezed out of this. Yeah, I don't really need sponsorship. As a live streamer, I don't really need a sponsor. I have like partners or affiliates that I work with that I know are legit. I don't really like, once it's hard to explain. Like, I don't really need some random company to pay me money to promote their product, right? Like the companies that I will accept are companies that are big enough to accept, you know. If they're a small company or if they're pretending to be somebody else, you'll recognize it pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm trying to see if we got any other breaking news this morning. We got the K-Shiller house price index in 50 minutes. China EV registrations in week. NIO at 2,400, Xpeng at 7,500, Tesla at 17,000, BYD at 58.5K. Yeah, that's what I heard, that they're doing a little bit better. Margaret, 100% written by AI. Yeah, that's probably true. Is Margaret married to Steve? She might be. Yeah. Here, let me check. Yeah, so Alibaba warns of a bubble in the AI center demand. So Alibaba Group Chairman Joe Tsai warned of a potential bubble forming in data center construction. I saw this earlier, arguing that the pace of that build out may outstrip initial demand for AI services. So a rush by big tech firms, investments, and other entities to erect server bases from the U.S. to Asia is starting to look indiscriminate, according to the billionaire and financer. Many of those projects are built without clear customers in mind, he told the HSBC Global Investment Summit in Hong Kong today. He said, I start to see the beginning of some kind of bubble. I start to get worried when people are building data centers on spec. There are a number of people coming up, funds coming out to raise billions or millions of capital. So bubble in data centers. I know data centers is one of the biggest metrics that we've seen in tech stock earnings. Like, how's their data center revenue coming in? But yeah, we'll wait. We'll see what happens. I bought Nike. Where's Nike at? Nike's still under 70s. You know, when the bigger concern is that when a lot of stuff ripped yesterday in tech, Nike's down. I mean, it's not really related. It's a different sector. But Nike's down big yesterday. And again, you can kind of see Tesla flying up yesterday. Tesla opened up the morning at about 250s, high 250s. It closed right around 280, just under 280. Nike opened up the day yesterday at about 68.50. Closed the day at about 67, so down a little bit. What else we got? Again, you could look at like Meta. Meta, kind of a flat day, although it did end green. Down, it's up today as well. Look at Meta. Meta's gapping up big in pre-market. No liquidity though, kind of low volume. Microsoft, same thing. Microsoft with a small gap up over the last 5, 10, 15 minutes. And yesterday for Microsoft, slight red day. AMD, looking at chips. Very strong day for chips yesterday on that news that we might have a little bit less strict ruling regarding chips and tariffs. Nvidia, Apple, up a little bit this morning. Most tech stocks have kind of seen a small rebound, but Apple was kind of flat yesterday. Nvidia, though, big day. Tesla is flying mostly on shorts. There's a couple of reasons Tesla's up today. Number one, shorts getting squeezed. That's number one. Number two, potentially less severe tariff tariffs on automobiles heading into April 2nd. To potentially less severe tariffs on automobiles and chips. So chip stocks mostly ran yesterday, although there's some outliers. And Tesla, what about like GM? Did GM rise with Tesla yesterday? Yeah, GM went up yesterday. Is it up today? GM has no liquidity though. Ford, same thing. Not really the most liquidity here. Yeah, and again, I heard a lot of people saying that it was a bull trap yesterday. And again, it kind of like, look, I think people kind of mirror something they see online influencers say, and I think a little bit of it's confirmation bias, meaning they say things they want to happen, you know. And maybe that's because they're not buying in. I don't know. And it's still too early to tell. Maybe we pull back today. I think a lot of it's going to depend on GDP and PCE data that shows up as what they show up as this week, at the end of this week. But all right, so there's some type of leak. A UK PM spokesperson, when asked about the US leak, the UK will continue to build defense and security relations with the US, is confident that UK intelligence is secure, and they're going to continue to work with the US on regional security. Yeah, well, I know a lot of people wanted the bear bull trap thesis to play out. See, did we stream GameStop earnings last time? I'm trying to see if we did or not. Okay, we did stream GameStop earnings. Yeah, so GameStop earnings dropped today. They are expecting a profit, but we'll see if it holds. We got the K-Shiller house price index. 9 a.m. Yeah, so we got the K-Shiller. I think Nvidia being down is a huge red flag for bull thesis. Really? Let me see. I mean, it always depends on the context. Nvidia is up pretty big over the last 2 weeks. Here's 2 weeks ago, and here's Nvidia today. So I mean, Nvidia is not really down. Like, I don't know if you're talking about this little baby drop here, but that's relatively insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Again, here's 2 weeks ago. Here's today. Nvidia is still down a lot over the last couple months. If we take a look at it, you know, of course, Nvidia is down from the 150s or so. If we put like a 4-hour chart up here, Nvidia hit 150s back in January. It's now down to 120s. But over the last couple weeks, it's up pretty big, you know. I think 124, 125 is kind of a big milestone level that I'm watching for NVIDIA. I want to see if it breaks over that spot. GameStop earnings is today. I'm overly bullish, but I'm regarded. It's not recovering even from last week's highs while the market is moving up. Well, I mean, what market is moving up? I mean, look, like I can kind of see the NQ moving up over the last few days, but it's not a perfect correlation. Like if we put a 4-hour chart up, it looks very similar to NVIDIA. Like here's NVIDIA. Let's put a both. Yeah, these are both 4-hour charts. You know, here's the Nasdaq in the middle, and then on the left side we have NVIDIA. Very similar price action. Very similar movement here. You know, the lows were mid-March. The lows are mid-March. Mid-March, rebound, dips before that. We had dips before that. So I mean, yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. It doesn't mean you're wrong, but I think it looks pretty similar to me. Tesla is really what's been flying up. Tesla's up a huge amount. We got some other stocks like Tesla's up big. Palantir's up pretty big. It's kind of leading the market. Yeah, I'm trying to catch anything else going on. McCormick MKC executive says for the year to go, expect prices in global consumer segment to be flat. The UK CMA seeks changes to the way Ticketmaster labels tickets and provides pricing info to fans, and CMA is concerned Ticketmaster approach may have misled Oasis fans. Concerned Ticketmaster, which sold more than 900,000 tickets during an Oasis ticket sale, may have breached consumer protection laws, according to Newswires. We'll see if that's true or not. I don't know. I'm just saying I don't trust this recovery as we are back on green. Yeah, I think it's hard to tell. I think it's very hard to tell. I think the cool thing for a lot of people is predicting that this is a bear trap, and I've seen a lot of people, and then you kind of see retail sentiment sometimes in chat kind of have the same sentiment coincidentally. But yeah, nobody knows. Yeah. Do you think the market correction is over with the... Do you think the market is over with the correction? You successfully anticipated the correction. Just seeing if you have any thoughts on whether the correction is done. I think it depends on data. I think we got GDP data. We got PCE data this week. I think how the market responds to that data, as well as April 2nd, as well as the JOLTS report, as well as Tesla delivery numbers, and all the different ways it could react depending on that data is going to, what influences everything is how the market responds to that data. PCE is one of the most important ones this Friday, and it's a little bit earlier. Next week, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming out, including unemployment, non-farm payrolls, the JOLTS report, delivery numbers for Tesla, the tariff day on April 2nd, and more. Manufacturing, ISM, PMI data. So we just got a lot of stuff next week. Next week's packed. This week's a little bit slower, but it's weighted towards the end of this week with Friday. Friday, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming out. Friday we have PCE, core PCE inflation, and it is expected to uptick. So it is expected to go up. The previous one showed up at 2.6% year over year, 0.3% month to month. The expected numbers this Friday are 2.7% year over year and 0.3% month to month. So they are expecting year over year data to increase 0.1%. And so, yeah, we'll see what we get. .6% for the K-Shiller expectations, and then we also have CB consumer confidence. We're going to start to trade a little bit now too, leading closer to the bell. Let's see if we can find some good trades. Nasdaq is up pretty significantly here. I guess we have a combine that we haven't traded yet. All right, so we're up a lot this morning on the NQ. It's pre-market. Very choppy range here. We're gonna short the top of the range, see if we can catch anything, but it's risky. And this is a demo account. Just to put this into perspective, we're gonna wait a little bit closer to the bell to trade our actual funded account. And so if we lose here, it's not the end of the world. But we're just going to look to attack the range down to 405. Risk level is going to be about a 1-to-1 ratio up here over this 420 level. And we will add to it as we get closer to like 415s. SPY broke upward 200 exponential yesterday. If we stay above, it's a bullish market. What do you think? Maybe. Yeah, so I'll add a little bit to this. We're at the top of the range, but we're not going to add over 3. We're going to try to build up a cushion here and then swing with the cushion we have. And then if we end up going against me, we'll just cut it and lick our wounds and find something else. I'm trying to see if we got any other breaking news coming out today. I don't think we do. Aside from the leak, there's a US leak apparently, the Ticketmaster news. Hey, what's up, Bride? Aldrin, BBAI. Yeah, BBAI is just too cheap for me to be interested. Look at the downfall it's made from 1030s to 3s. It's back up though, but I'm kind of sketched out by it. We took a little bit off here. I don't know if it gave me the good fill or not. I don't think it did. Slippage. But we got 2 contracts, so we could be a little looser with this. I'm sitting on a small NQ position looking to hold for the next hour. Yeah, I was trying to give it time and patience, but I don't mind shorting around this high just because I have a really easy stop loss level. If it breaks this, we can just cut it. And it's very small, and this level might hold as resistance, but I wouldn't really recommend it with actual funded accounts. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I do, Bao, is I wait until the market open to trade, to really trade. Like, sometimes it'll catch me trading in pre-market. This is a combine account, so it's different. It's not really true risk. But if I trade for real, it's going to be after the opening bell, and usually 5 minutes after the open is what I do. That rule has helped my trading a lot. Like, my trading's not perfect, but it's not bad either recently. I'm actually green in every funded account that I have. Oof. Yeah, I should probably cut this now. I don't really like the... So honestly, it's pretty small loss, all things considered. Market's just too strong. Let me see what Tesla's doing. Tesla's only at 283s. I mean, the family's fine. You don't really see them as much because the green screen's here. And so I have like a green screen now that blocks everything. So you just don't see them as much because of that. But they're good. Yeah, I don't know. You just gotta wonder like what the market fears today. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, guys. Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting tight here, man. I don't... The market's up a lot. And so, I could attack a long. I feel like that would be a little greedy, though. I could attack a short for a longer term range trade, but then I'm trading against the trend. So, honestly, right here, I don't know what to do. I think I'm just going to try to be patient. And that's why you see me trading this combine account instead of my actual funded account. I don't want to lose too much real money. Being greedy. My sinuses are not allergy related necessarily. They are reflux related. So like if I eat too close to bedtime. But honestly, they're not bad. I just have I've always had a deviated septum. So but I can breathe okay right now. It's not bad. All right, so we just broke over the highs of 2040s. We did hold support here and say, look, we broke over it, pulled back, held support, and now, you know, we might continue up. Again, we're a little bit too extended on the upside for my taste here. Okay, nah, man. That always seemed like dumb, you know. Yeah, that just seemed always kind of dumb. All right, look at this bounce, though. Wow. My fear for today is that since I absolutely smashed it yesterday, I must be careful not to be overconfident. Looking at our poll, 73% of people think we're going to go up leading into April 2nd, Judgment Day. So many people think we're going to go up, which is an interesting look, man, maybe. What's dragging the market up right now, though? It's not really Tesla. It's some type of tech stock. Apple. Apple's moving up. Meta's moving up. Google's moving up. Alphabet is moving up. Not really AMD. Amazon moving up big. It's up to 205s. So market's churning this morning, guys. Look at this. Yeah, I'm just waiting. I don't really see any other big news that showed up. Pretty slow. A lot of people are waiting. Maybe the K-Shiller. Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity for March showed up at minus 32.5. Put some of this data up on screen. Consumer sentiment, favorable tariff news. Yeah, so love you.
Love you.
Hey, all right, guys, sorry. Yeah, telling my kids goodbye. I'm going to start to short the range up here. It's a little risky, but I think after this big move, unless we're just going to be... If we lose this, we're down 45 bucks or 50 bucks. It's not the end of the world. And we're edging closer, so we're just going to YOLO it for the stream, I think. I'll show you my stats and my actual funded account a little bit later, but we're going to plan to add to this if it pushes up anymore. We got a little extension here, I think is fine to attack. We added to it, but I don't know if that's gonna work. There we go, we took some off. We locked a little bit in. All right, so we made some so far. We got one contract left. We'll add to it. Could have held it a little bit longer, but that's all right. We took another piece off there, locked it in. We got one contract left. There we go. All right, so we're out. We got the short around the range we wanted, around this 450 level, but maybe could have made some more. Hey, bro. Love you, dude. Hey, buddy. All right, guys. All right, guys. Sorry, my son's in here talking to me about stuff. All right, so yeah, we made a little bit here. We got the K-Shiller house price index in 24 minutes. 24 minutes. Palantir, the 90s. Yeah, I mean, Palantir's PE ratio is still pretty high. It really is. It's still pretty high. It's still very strange. right, Palantir at almost 100, Microsoft at 395s, Apple at 221s. We still might be rejecting here at 450. Look at this level. So we drew this level out. On this trade, we made 30, 40, 105, 135. We made about $200 here, which isn't bad. We're basically flat on the day. We might be down a small amount, but it's nothing really. All right, guys, so we did reject at that 450 level. We're going to see if it holds. Yes, we're at 438s. We got Amazon. We got Tesla at 283s. Nvidia at 120.65. So we did reject right at this top of the level here. I'm kind of learning with my support and resistance to make them. Tesla PE is higher. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Tesla PE is higher than Palantir's PE ratio. I think Palantir's PE is pretty high. So this level held. We're coming back down some. I should have held that short position a little bit longer, but I do like to build up a profit first. And then once I have a profit, take larger trades. We'll see how it goes, though. Hello? Hey. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, so we did get a big pullback. The question is, do I want to buy 420s? Do you think I should buy 420s here, chat? I'm looking at it right now. Always 420 is the number. Maybe so, guys, maybe so. It's dipping down enough. I don't know whether I should start to accumulate shares down here or what, but you know what? We're at the bottom of the range. We're going to start adding here. And we'll keep adding down to like this level here. I feel like I just got deja vu for a pattern though. And I think the last time I traded this pattern, it literally went boom and like fell fast. Deja vu in trading, I don't know if it's ever good. I feel like some YouTuber's gonna make that their name, deja vu trading. Honestly, there's too many names, you know. There's too many trading names. The brown hair trader, you know, deja vu trading. There's just so many different names. Like Disney World, went to Disney World one time 12 years ago trader is gonna come out soon. We're buying the dip. I'm just kind of making, yeah, there you go. I was going to respond and then I realized your name. Any other news coming out, guys? I'm trying here. I'm trying to give you guys the news. All right, so we got Kugler speaking, but it doesn't sound like this is anything market moving. Entrepreneurial spirit, Latinos in the economy. He said, I'm always studying how the economy is playing out for Americans of all backgrounds. As such, I'd like to share with you my economic outlook before I conclude. The U.S. economy has been on solid footing in recent years, consistent with the assessment. Where'd it go? Consistent with the assessment that real GDP grew 2.5% last year. The most recent data on economic activity in the early part of the year shows some signs of softness. Retail sales plunged more than 1% in January. However, that slowing was not entirely unexpected after the strong showing in December. Some bad weather earlier this year and the difficulties in seasonally adjustments of the data. Moreover, growth in retail sales moves back up into positive territory, increasing 0.2% in February. The labor market appears to be stable, though. Through February, U.S. employers added 151,000 jobs in February and 125K in January. The pace of hiring during the first 2 months of the year is a slowdown compared with the strong gains in November and December. But again, that could reflect weather disruptions and seasonality, basically. Over the past 6 months, employers have added... hold on. This is Kugler. He just said some stuff. Over the past 6 months, employers have added a solid average of 190,000 jobs a month. The unemployment rate, 4.1% last month, is low and has remained near its current level since last summer. Turning to inflation, I've been keenly aware that price increases have been painful, and I have supported policies intended to bring inflation sustainably back down to our 2% target. This effort has paid dividends. Inflation has come down a long way from its peak of more than 7% in June of 2022. Based on CPI and Consumer Price Index data for February, is estimated that 12-month change in consumer expenditures PCE price index was 2.5% last month. This is welcome progress. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut this small little baby trade, but we'll take it. But that progress has slowed since last summer in certain subcategories. There's evidence that inflation reaccelerated in recent months. Importantly, while goods inflation was negative in 2024, as was the norm before the pandemic, it has turned positive in recent months. This development is unhelpful because goods inflation has often kept a lid on total inflation and also affects inflation expectations. In addition to the increases in prices already captured in official data, surveys show that consumers are expecting further increases in the near term. For instance, both short-run and long-run inflation expectations from the University of Michigan survey have climbed in recent months. According to comments from respondents of surveys, much of this uncertainty appears to be tied to trade policy. I am paying close attention to the acceleration of price increases and higher inflation expectations, especially given the recent bout of inflation in the last few years. Given the economy's overall solid position and heightened level of uncertainty, I supported the FOMC decision last week to maintain the policy rate at its current level. I see current policy as continuing to be restrictive, and I judge the FOMC policy is well positioned. Basically, they want to keep 2%. They're going to assess everything, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, basically, inflation is looking a little bit more bleak than they thought, but economy's okay, is what they're saying, basically, in this report. I don't know how much Kugler really is going to move markets. And it looks like most of it was for... This whole thing was titled Latinos, Entrepreneurs in the U.S. Economy by Adriana D. Kugler at the 2025 Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Legislative Summit in Washington. So... All right, so the SAFE chief meets with European stability mechanisms. Gramenga. White House Press Secretary Leavitt says no war plans were discussed in the chat. No classified materials was sent. Labor market appears to be stable through February. Yeah, we got the K-Shiller house price index in 12 minutes. We'll see what that does. I mean, I don't know. We got CB consumer confidence later on, too. That'll move stuff a little bit more, I think. And again, guys, if you want to check out Top Step, it's the best way to learn how to day trading, in my opinion. Most day traders lose if you put up... if you put up thousands of your own dollars, you're probably going to lose it. Let's just be honest here for a second. Most day traders lose. Doesn't matter what course you take, who you follow, most day traders lose. And so, does it make any sense to fund your own account thousands of dollars trying to look cool? Of course not. Instead, try Top Step. They give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K in profit on said 50K demo without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions, a reasonable 2 to 3 ratio. This teaches you how to trade, by the way. They fund you 50K with a 90% split. If you fail, it's $49 a month. It's not the end of the world to lose $50, basically. And honestly, it's just a great way to learn. If you were going to pay for a real-time data demo account in futures, it might cost around the same ballpark as $50 a month. So the value is there. It's like a souped-up demo account. If you pass the test, you get a funded account with a 90% split. That's similar to funding your own account. If you fail, you're out $50. It's not the end of the world. It's some of the best rules in the game in funding. No PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the Dow, the Nasdaq, the Russell, gold, some currencies. I'm going to start buying this dip as well. And this is on Top Step X right here. This is a challenge account, though. So this is a trying to get funded account. We're already funded in multiple different accounts. But again, if you want to check it out, great way to help support the channel. If you use my link and through Top Step X, there's zero commission. So if you use my link through Top Step X, there's zero commission. Here's the link right here if you want to check it out. Great way to help support the channel. Remember, they're an affiliate of mine. I am biased because I get paid by them. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Everybody make their own assessment. Trade responsibly, guys. Not an investment professional. I'm not at fault if you lose. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about, and I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional here, guys. All right, so we went in full size here on our challenge account, hoping we'd bounce at this 420 level. But again, if we fail, we'll just switch to our funded account. I think my big problem with these combines is I try to speed pass these tests. I'm already funded in 3 or 4, and so it doesn't mean too much if I fail this. But I think if I did like $400 a day in profit and I waited until the opening bell like I do with my actual funded account, I would have a lot better results in the actual challenge accounts. Because if we look at my actual stats in my actual funded accounts here, let me put it up. Yeah, this is my stats so far for March, mostly. So we've had 3 losing days. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green days, 3 losing days in our funded account in March. So not bad, honestly. And our losses weren't too small or too big relative to our account size. We're very green in the month of March. We're running on our actual funded accounts about 64% accuracy, about 64% from March 1st to March 25th. So I'll take it. It's good. But I think I need to be more patient with my actual challenge accounts. Oh, here's the link if you want to check it out. I didn't... there's the link right there. I don't think I put it up in the chat. I'm going to limit my size here, take some small profit out. And now we're back to flat here. And we're going to take another piece off here. Risk management. Yeah, you guys know me. I don't even claim to be a good trader. Like, we really cover economic reports mostly. And I think a lot of the guys y'all watch that act like they're the most profitable are probably losing more than they're winning. Like, they might withdraw and stuff, but they're probably losing more in terms of combines than they are, and they're making the money back in marketing. Yeah, I mean, I tend to do pretty well after the opening bell. Like, after the opening bell, I know my accuracy is good. That's why you see me, if I trade in pre-market, I almost never trade my funded accounts in pre-market. I'm almost always trading, like, this combine account in pre-market if I do trade it. Of course, it's the internet, so, like, every time I lose a combine account, people act like I'm just the worst ever and that it was the worst trade of all time. Definitely top 3, and I'm just the worst trader there could ever be. But I think it's a way I protect my actual funded accounts, which they're all green. So every funded account I have is green as well. So we're in profit in each one. VM in tech. Yeah, I'm looking at some other news. And honestly, I gave this trade a lot of chances to turn in my favor. We limited our size when we got back to break even, but it was almost like my entry acted as resistance. We were hoping this 420 level would hold. It's still early, but I could cut here with a big deficit or try to give it a chance to come back. I might as well give it a chance. Give you guys something to root for. Canadian PM Carney promises unprecedented acceleration of investment in armed forces if he wins the April 28th election. Yeah, for sure, Nick, 100%. And I mean, I make way more from streaming than I ever do trading, of course, but that's most people. The difference is that I'm honest about it, and like, I'm not going to act like I'm some genius trader and only show my winners and not show my losses, and, you know, I'd rather just be real about it and not worry about it as much, you know. Yeah, definitely top 3. We're going to test 400. We might. I only have 3 contracts. I might as well swing for the fences and add and then see if we pop back up here. What we're seeing right now is Tesla pulling back a little bit. Tesla pulling back to 283s. Microsoft's kind of quieting down a little bit. Apple's pulling back some. Google's pulling back some. Nvidia's actually kind of headed back up some here, though. Do you think there's potential for Nvidia? Of course there's potential. It's Nvidia. It's one of the largest tech companies in the world. There's always going to be potential for it. It depends on whether AI is in a bubble right now. And whether people admit that or not, I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. Do you guys think AI is a bubble? That might be a good poll option. AI is growing. Yeah, I mean, quantum, I think, is the future as of now. It doesn't mean that's not going to change, though. We got 2.5 minutes, chat. 2.5 minutes before the K-Shiller house price index. Probably not going to move markets. But you never freaking know, maybe. K-Shiller expected at... What's it expected at? 4.6%. Yeah, so we have 1.5 minutes before K-Shiller data comes out. Redbook showed up at 5.6%. Yeah, this account certainly isn't looking that good. But my biggest problem with these is that I'm impatient with the challenge account. I'm already funded in so many, and like I'm green on all of the ones that I'm funded on. But when I go trade these combine accounts, I'm so loose with it. I think I gotta be a little bit tighter here with this. All right, guys. But yeah, we got K-Shiller house price index releasing soon. I don't think it's gonna move markets. We'll see though. It's expected at 4.6%. Releases in 50 seconds. But Raphael Bostic said he changed his forecast to 1 interest rate cut this year from 2 because he foresees inflation is very bumpy. I think that's very possible. We got 10 seconds here, guys. 10 seconds. But no, I think that's very possible. I think that's why I think PCE tomorrow or Thursday or in Friday is big. All right, here's the K-Shiller data. So the data just showed up at, again, it expected at 4.6%. The K-Shiller data. We had house price index data show up at 4.8% year over year. 4.8%. Now whether the K-Shiller data shows up, let me see. But yeah, 4.8% house price index year over year for January. And I think the other data might be late. Let me see. Yeah, 4.8%. The actual K-Shiller data is still a little bit still delayed. I don't see it out yet anywhere. Any source I'm checking for K-Shiller house price index. I saw regular HPI is at 4.8% for U.S. monthly home prices. But the K-Shiller data is not out. Weird. Last time was 4.5%. This time was 4.6%. I'm assuming maybe we're just mirroring the home price index data. How's quantum stocks? I'm looking at IONQ. Aren't quantum stocks kind of underperforming the market some? I think the market is going to generally rise till Friday to Monday, end of quarter, at which point it'll tank according to cash. Maybe. That's possible. Yeah. The K-Shiller data, I guess, is just delayed. I don't see it anywhere. Yeah, guys. Again, this is a challenge account, so I was hoping we'd get a rebound at the 200 exponential and bounce back up here. If we fall significantly under 4s, I'm probably either going to get eliminated or cut it. But again, as we get closer to here, I'm going to start limiting some of my losses so that we're closer to flat. That way I can readjust. There we go. All right, so we're out of some of this, and we're going to hold the rest. That way, if we lose, it's not the end of the world, and we can be a lot better on these. Let's see. I'll let it sit. Yeah, we're going to stream consumer confidence too, for sure. So yeah, we're definitely going to stream consumer confidence. CB consumer confidence is at 10 a.m. I don't know how much it's going to move the markets. So here's the K-Shiller data. K-Shiller showed up at 4.7%. 4.7%. It was delayed for some reason. But it showed up at 4.7%. There it is right there in chat. For whatever reason, it was just really delayed. We're going to go ahead and take some of this off. What? It actually gave me a loss for that? That's crazy. I'm going to add to this now, I guess, but we're going to be very strict with it. We did reject right there at 420s. Honestly, it's kind of a flat trade. We held it for a long time and waited, but 420 seems to be holding a little bit too strong. Let's see if we can take some off here too. We'll let this one contract sit and then cut it if it breaks it down under 4s, I guess. But I have stop losses, but you got to understand, like, I'm trading a combine account. And so usually the way I do it is I just kind of swing for the fences until I make $1,500. Once I actually get funded, I trade wildly different. Usually once I get funded, I scale down my size dramatically. I never trade mini contracts. I only trade micro contracts. And I only trade at least 5 minutes after the opening bell. I never trade in pre-market. And, you know, that in the month of March, that system has given me about 67% accuracy. 67%. I don't know whether I want to add to this or not. I'll go ahead and add to this, and then we'll hold it pretty close to break even, hopefully. As long as we don't get like a big dump down. Yeah, no, I'm happy to be green in March, to be honest, in my funded accounts. And we're green in all of them. But yeah, I'm just glad to be green, to be honest. Volatile March, for sure. All right, so we just took another piece off here. Slowly building it up. See if we can get back over 420 though. 420 seems like a big milestone level. Amazon's rebounding though. That's kind of what's dragging the market up. Amazon, Nvidia back up a little bit, but we are still chopping some. New York Fed President Williams says household and firms are seeing heightened uncertainty. Yeah, so pre-market is just lower liquidity. There's less liquid action in pre-market. Yeah, there's just less liquid action in pre-market. All right, so we're just going to cut that there too. So we're pretty much flat on the day now. was a big losing trade for a long time. We luckily got the bounce at 4s and started heading back up, and we'll just kind of reevaluate after the opening bell for this one. We'll switch to our funded account closer to the open, but yeah, so the K-Shiller dropped slightly higher than expected house prices. It's all about the money and market. Market makers and hedge funds take advantage of pre-market after hours to control prices. Yeah, I mean, it's also when economic data comes out, so it's a little bit more whippy, I guess is the best way to put it. It's hard to explain. It's less liquid. You get economic data and news that shows up in pre-market, which means it's a little bit more variance heavy, I guess is the best word for it. The liquidity is less, but that can sometimes mean a little bit more variance and movement, just less favorable action for most people in pre-market. Some people actually have a niche in pre-market where they day trade only pre-market. It's not really me. I'm usually the opposite, where if I can, and look at the Nasdaq pump up. This is mostly due to Amazon. Amazon's rising higher. Where's Bitcoin today? Yeah, so pre-market. Market's still churning up here. Again, this is, let me see what Meta's doing. It's mostly Amazon is what's dragging the market up right now. I wonder if there's any movement here. Meta's ripping up too in pre-market. The volume seems a little light though. Microsoft. All right, so the president's World Liberty Financial crypto venture announces it was launched a USD pegged stablecoin. It'll be backed by U.S. Treasury, dollar deposits, and cash equivalents, is what he's saying. Look at the market surge, though. Market's pumping back up here. So again, Tesla's rebounding some. On the bottom right chart, you can kind of see Tesla here. Am I blocking this? Hold on, let me fix it. There we go. Yeah, so we're up to 435s right now. Nvidia at 120s. Do you think defense stocks will drop? Maybe. On Rigetti? Yeah, I mean, those quantum stocks are moving. My brother only trades the first 30 to 45 minutes. I tend to do best trading the first 30. Although I have been on Top Step TV a couple times and done really well at the last hour of the day. So I've thought about pivoting to trading that some too, but I just haven't. I haven't tried it much yet. But I've thought about it. All right, so Wells Fargo says home sales aren't far off from levels seen in the wake of the Great Depression. This is a Fortune article. They say home sales are barely above the pace experienced in the years that followed the housing crash. This time around, it's because would-be buyers can't afford the 1-2 punch of high home prices and high mortgage rates, and sellers can't afford to lose those their rates. In January, total home sales came in at 4.7 mil. That level is only modestly above the weak rate experienced in the wake of the Great Recession of 2008 and 2010. That's why the K-Shiller data, you know. Yeah, I mean, right now, as a real estate agent, right now, we're seeing super high interest rates in mortgages, as well as, and again, I'm not a real estate professional. My license, I'm pretty sure, is inactive right now. So, but we're seeing that mixed with like high home prices. So house prices are up, mortgages are expensive. In general, if you want a thriving market, you need one of those two things to be different. Meaning, if you want a thriving market, you need either interest rates to be cheap, even if house prices are higher. Low interest rates might stimulate the markets in that way in real estate. On the other hand, if interest rates are high but house prices are cheaper on average or have pulled back a lot, then that might stimulate markets from bottom feeders coming in, picking up purchases. Neither one of those things are necessarily true. We got high house prices and high interest rates right now. And one of the Fed's decisions to keep unloading their balance sheet with MBSs. Like, so they slowed down their balance sheet reduction in treasuries by 80%. They reduced the cap to only $5 billion. But they continued the runoff of their MBSs, which is honestly going to keep interest rates and mortgages higher. You know, so we'll see if we get interest rates decreasing over time. I think we get the 30-year rate showing up tomorrow. Usually we get at least, yeah, I think it shows up tomorrow if I'm not mistaken. And then today we got CB Consumer Confidence. Expectations are 94.2. 94.2 for CB Consumer Confidence. K-Shiller data showed up at 4.7%. I'll put this up on screen. Here's the K-Shiller data. Aftermarket is my niche. Yeah. And again, we are day trading on Top Step today. No PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the Dow, the Nasdaq, the Russell. It took me a while to get into futures because I went from penny stocks to trading the SPY and Q directly. And then I realized I didn't have to have that much buying power. I could trade futures, and trading futures is basically like trading the SPY and Q directly if you're trading indexes. So I could trade the Nasdaq, the QQQ, basically price action in futures, no PDT rule. I can trade the SPY price action in futures, no PDT rule. And that's what I didn't understand. I think a lot of people don't understand that. And so what you see me trading here on futures is the QQQ price actions. The Nasdaq is the Q. It's what the Q follows, is the NQ. And again, Top Step's the most legit funded program in the world. They give you a 50K demo and they test your skill. And this builds your skill. It teaches you how to trade. Most day traders lose. And so if you fund your own account, let's be honest, you're probably going to lose it. No PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the Dow, the Nasdaq, the Russell, gold, some currencies. A lot of Forex traders should be trading this. It's only my second plug of the day, by the way, so cry about it if you want. But again, no PDT in futures. And it's just a great way to learn. Most day traders lose. They've paid out almost $200 million in the last 4 years. They fund thousands. If you fail, it's not the end of the world. The base one's $49. You got to make $3K in profit on a 50K demo. If you fail that challenge, if you lose 2K first following their rules, you get to use a practice account with real-time data anyway. So the value's there, to be honest. If you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. There's the link in chat. Turkish Finance Minister Simsek reportedly told investors on a call that he will not comment on judicial matters or events over the past 2 weeks, according to sources cited by Reuters. The Fed's Williams says households, firms are seeing heightened uncertainty. It's the entire reason I want to get into futures. No PDT. I feel like I do best scalping. So with futures, can you just scalp all day, or do these trades cost too much? It depends on your profit margin per trade, I would say. It depends. Do we buy the 420 level again, guys? I don't know. We got 10 minutes until the opening bell, though, so... John, I don't care about the plugs. Better than commercials. Yeah. I try to keep it, honestly, like, I don't plug anything for a few hours, usually. People still complain because the internet, that's just kind of how people are. But I really do try to do it right. I try not to tell people I'm a good trader. I try to tell people, not an investment professional, top 3 worst trader ever. Can't guarantee anything. If people say, hey, John, what is Tesla going to do tomorrow? I always say, hey, I don't know. And so I think it's kind of crazy. People say, like, somebody said I was a narcissist the other day. I would say I'm the top 3 least narcissistic trader out there. I'm the only one being real with you guys. Everybody else is trying to act like they're some type of savant genius. They're only showing you their profit. They're never showing you their losses. They're always acting like they're making money, even though half the time they're probably losing way more on the back end. I would rather just be real about it. And so hopefully you guys appreciate it. Subscribe if you do. I appreciate you guys. You still like Disney? I like Disney as it decreases down to like $80 or $90. It's at 100 plus right now. I just don't like it here. But I don't know what it's going to do. Maybe it goes up. You're one of the good guys in the space. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I should have bought 420, guys. Look at 420 here, man. This thing literally popped right off of it. I had flashbacks from when I had to hold this trade for like an hour, you know. And so I didn't end up buying this dip. But look at that bounce, literally directly off of it. I should have bought 420. I mean, I show people whether I'm red or green on the day, but I don't need to show people more than that. Trading's very difficult. Trading under pressure is incredibly difficult. And if I really wanted to be manipulative, I could only show you guys the accounts I'm green on and show you guys everything, but only show you the accounts I'm green on, and then not really mention the ones I'm red. But the easiest way to put it is, like, I'm not selling a course. I'm not even claiming to be some super good trader. I would rather be real about it. And maybe we get less views, and like maybe, you know, whatever. We still got almost 700 people watching, which is good enough for me. And I think, like, it's easier to trade without constant worry about what other people think in my P&L. Basically, I'd rather not show it because it's easier. And that's objectively true. Everybody here should understand that. Like, that's very obviously true. It's much more difficult, and there's much more pressure if everybody can see everything. I'd rather just be honest about it. Mini dip. I mean, I usually tell people what I'm up or down on the day. Makes complete sense. I completely agree. Yeah. I mean, everybody should understand it. Now, do I still lose and trade off stream? Of course I do. That's what the disclaimer says. If you look at the disclaimer, sometimes we trade off stream, sometimes we lose off stream. You might not see it. Absolutely true. Sometimes I'm the top 3 worst trader off stream. That's honestly true. All right, guys. Hey, we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I feel like there's enough people trying to act like the greatest ever on YouTube. I might as well act like the worst. And it kind of worked. You know, kind of worked. I appreciate it, Michael. All right. So we're gonna try to get funded, or get close to getting funded in this Combine account in the first like 5 to 10 minutes. And again, if we lose, it's not the end of the world. We're gonna swing for the fences. We're gonna come out wildly confident. And if we fail, it's not the end of the world. We're out $50, and then we're gonna pivot to our actual funded account, which we're green on every one today. So far, you know, we'll see if that continues. Microsoft just had a really quick pullback with a lot of different things. Look at Amazon dipping down fast. Nvidia's actually going up. Tesla's going up. But look at Microsoft. Look at Apple. They both had some fairly large pullbacks. Like, look at this dip in Apple. Look at that pullback. Weird. Nvidia's actually pushing up. So is Tesla. See if there's a reason for this. Anybody know? We got Canadian. I always say Canadiana. We have Canada's Prime Minister Carney speaking right now. Talking about tariffs. He said the point is to have a substantial discussions on trade. He's in touch with the current administration's team on tariffs. I can only make $1,500 per day, so we're going to try to make $1,500. But again, look at the pullback on Apple. And again, we're going to pivot after 5 minutes to our actual funded account and try to trade that a little bit more. Nvidia up to 121, or 120.8s. Again, Tesla rising a lot over the past few days. Tesla up to 283s, and honestly, it just broke the highs of the day. We got to put Tesla up as one of the opening bell stocks, right? There's Nvidia. We'll put Tesla underneath it. Tesla is rising towards the high of the day, which is at 286.30. It's at 283.90, 284s right now. We got 3 minutes left. Chat, 3 minutes. Is Bitcoin moving up? Apple at 221s. Palantir at 98. All right, so look at NVIDIA, guys. Whoa. NVIDIA trying to go green on the day right before the opening bell. This looks like some... Who knows why the NVIDIA jumped like it did. Let's see if I can find out some news here. Hold on, let me see if I can search. And see, now it turned all the way back down. Look at this big drop in markets, too. Look at this. So NVIDIA turned all the way back down. I don't see anything. Let me see if I can find some actual catalysts here. We got a minute and a half until the opening bell. Look at this candlestick in markets here. So maybe NVIDIA's following the market might be a little bit more reasonable look at it. Could it be from Carney speaking? Canadian Prime Minister? Look at this turn in markets, guys. Testing that 200 exponential volume weighted average price. We got 30 seconds here. 30 seconds. Yeah, look at that volume coming in. I don't know what it's from. Weird. Y'all see anything? I don't really see anything to justify this move. Unless, like, the Canadian Prime Minister... Unless their talks are influencing things, which it's hard to tell. Could just be a weird... There's the opening bell. Could just be a weird opening bell move. All right, so look at NVIDIA back down to 120s. Tesla, 280s. Retracement back up on the Nasdaq here. Nasdaq's back up to 405s. Bouncing right around 400s at the 200 exponential. Tesla falling all the way back down to under 280s. Is this Tesla news? NVIDIA is honestly holding pretty well. Tesla's falling. Palantir's falling too. I'm gonna short this. It's a little risky here. Trading it after the opening bell. We're going to take half off there. I think we got a bad fill too. We were green when we took the profit, but not the best fill here. We're playing with the opening bell, just one contract. So we're not going to trade super large here. All right, so just made about 140 on that little trade. 140. Rejection right at 420, everybody's favorite number. Apple all the way down to 220.50s. Palantir ripping back up, just broke highs. 98, at least tapped it. Google broke highs at the opening bell too. Bitcoin's up to 88,000. Tesla's down since the opening bell, but Nvidia's starting to fight its way back. I'm looking more bullish sentiment related. I'm going to buy this dip now. See if we get a big bounce back here, but it's risky. Alright, so just made a little bit more. I'll take it. Look at a Tesla falling down. So Tesla all the way down to 278. It's testing the previous closing price. So Tesla trying to go red on the day. Nvidia turning down too on this movement. Yeah, there goes Nvidia. Cracked lows, it looks like, for a second here. Microsoft weak here as well. I'm gonna short this. There we go. We're gonna add to this now. There we go. We're completely flat on the day now, though. We're honestly literally at $0. So we brought ourselves back to green. I'm gonna short this again. And we're out. All right, we're green. Took a little bit, but this is why I say I do better at the opening bell for some reason. What I do is I watch all the other big tech stocks and I kind of lead them a little bit. Like if Nvidia breaks lows, breaks a milestone level, I'll short the Nasdaq and then try to catch the lag. Sometimes there's a little 2 to 3 second lag in between them. Tesla's still falling, looking very weak. I'm gonna short this too. I gotta be careful here though. Kind of flat. You don't love to see it. We're very close to cutting it. And it's struggling. All right, we got out. Yeah, later, Sam. Have a good day, bro. Be safe today, man. Very choppy action, though. Y'all be careful today, man. There's not really any good. I don't really think any of this looks good. I think I gotta wait. And as I say that, we're breaking down in the trade direction I just took, so. I could have FOMO here, but I'm just gonna be happy I'm green. How you guys doing? That's a big candlestick retracement. I'm gonna try shorting one. There we go. All right, we're out. So up a few hundred since the open in 6 minutes or so. Tesla falling down quick. I mean, it's going to fall down, though, because it's extended. Smithfield Foods says executive says that. So Smithfield Foods executive says that Q1 profitability is dampening due to higher raw material prices. They're seeing strength in hog and meat prices for Q1. Rising pressure. All right, we got to take a swing in this combine account. We got a cushion now, so we're going to start to increase size. We're to short the pops, I think, and just be okay with losing if we do. Don't get too mad at me. We're gonna switch to our actual funded account. Getting ripped up in my face right now, though. Take some size off here. And then maybe add back. Give myself a higher chance of catching the breakdown. There we go. There we go. All right. We caught that big retracement here. Oof, and then it went right back up. I think I got lucky the first time. And I got really lucky this time. Wow. Okay, we're up about 600. I'm going to switch to my funded account. We're going to build up a little profit in this one and try to slow and steady this. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to switch to micros now and trade our actual funded account. There we go. Honestly, the range has been really small since the opening bell. Apple just surged up, though. So, like, if we are going to do a reversal, NVIDIA's down. But Apple, remember, is the most heavily weighted stock. And look at it today. So, Apple up big. It's at 222s. Tapped it. See a lot of up wicks here, which indicates selling pressure. It looks really weak, so we're gonna try to short a couple contracts here, and that's it. We took one off, but we ended up getting a bad fill. We'll look to get into the profit and then add to it. That way we're not taking too much risk here, because I don't really like this at all. Yeah, I gotta cut that. All right, so we're down like 20 bucks. It's very small. Honestly, look at these up wicks though. Tesla's starting to rebound back up too. I think I gotta start taking larger size and scalp like I do with the regular mini contracts. We got out a little bit here, but very small. Gonna add to this. There we go. All right, so we got ourselves back to green. Small green though, but green nonetheless. I want to build up a cushion first before I start taking larger size, but we'll see how it goes. We're getting towards the top of this range again, which has been very strong. See if we can tap 420s up here. All right, so we got 2 contracts, 4 contracts, that's it. Oof, getting ripped up in my face here. We took piece off there, but you gotta be a little bit more patient with this. Hopefully it's a liquidity grab. All right, just made a little bit there, but we caught the short. Tesla cracked lows. Apple's still ripping higher though. I'm seeing a choppy range. I don't know if we're waiting for PCE data later this week or what. CB consumer confidence. I don't think CB consumer confidence is gonna move the market enough. So our short at this top at 420 worked, but we're kind of all the way back to the bottom of that 400 range, which we've been moving back and forth. Like, this is the range that I've been looking at most of the day today. Like this range right here. And I think that makes sense, right? Like, we've been testing 400s and 420s all day. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at this. Williams is speaking, maybe? I don't know if that's influencing things. Nvidia turning. Look, there's 369s. Look at this level. So we drew this level. We didn't draw this just now. This level's been on the charts, guys. Look at this. 369s. Bounced right off of it. That's the dip I should have bought. All right, so we're short. Very flat. We made a little bit here, but not much. Just a little scalp. Very small on the day, to be honest, guys. We'll short if we get back up here, maybe. I just made another little $20 bill from it. We'll take it. I'm gonna have to start focusing on doing this with my regular mini account, I think. Kind of want to short this again too, but I'm gonna wait. Yeah, so now we're under 400s. The question is, does it turn into resistance now? There's 400s. Looks like it's kind of turning into resistance there. Tesla's breaking down to 270s today, 273 right now. Yep, so 400 did act as some short-term resistance. It doesn't mean anything. Look at that retracement back up, though. It's popping all the way back over it now. It's really difficult action to trade unless you're going to trade ranges like I'm doing here, like I've been doing most of the day. I think it's very hard. You know, again, like this is the price action since the open. chat. Here's the opening bell right here. Up, down, up, down, up. Slight downward trend, but not anything super significant here. Very difficult to trade. I would be careful. We got CB consumer confidence data coming out too. So Moody says U.S. fiscal strength is on course for continued multi-year declines. Guys, look at this. Moody's is one of the rating agencies. Look at that. U.S. fiscal strength is on course for continued multi-year declines. All right, look at this red action show up after this news release. So Nvidia down at 119.15s. I'm wondering if this is what the markets are reacting to right now, this Moody's. So we're testing 369s again. We got 12 minutes until this data shows up. Yeah, so there's we just cracked under 369s. Again, I'm wondering if the Moody's news is dragging this down. It's look at Nvidia come down here. Nvidia down to 118s. All right, so Nvidia is still testing 119s. We're still kind of bouncing off of that 368, 370 level. Tesla puts paying. Bitcoin's grainy. Flattish. Downward channel. Yeah, I mean, remember, guys, we're still up big, and this drop is pretty insignificant, even with Nvidia, right? Like, you got to understand, most of the time, this is what's going on today. We've moved up. Now we have a dip, right? So if you're not going to recognize this, but you're going to act like this is the end of the world, it's a little misleading. It's a little misleading. So again, normal price action is kind of a stair-step price action. We go up, we pull back, we continue higher. I'm not saying this is going to necessarily happen because I don't freaking know. What I'm saying is that it doesn't mean it's the end of the world yet. It just doesn't. Not yet. Maybe we get continuations of it, and maybe the market's waiting, but... And the market's honestly down a slight amount. So this is very slight. Apple's pretty green today. If you look at Apple on the top right corner, Apple's very green. Palantir is bouncing back some. Bitcoin's down a little bit, but it's at 87.5, so it was at 88. It's not down too much. Tesla is honestly what's down. Tesla is one of the stocks that's dragging other stuff down. Tesla's down to 272, broke lows of the day. Tesla is one of those stocks that are down big, you know. All right, guys. Hey, we got 7 minutes until CB Consumer Confidence. CB Consumer Confidence has the capability of pushing the market up or down. It's generally not a huge report. Generally not a huge report. And so we'll see. But what do you think the bottom of Tesla is in your humble opinion? I mean, we can look at previous support or resistance areas. I think 200 has been a statistical one. I'd like to see it hold at 250 though, right here. So, who knows? No idea, just speculating. All right, so we're hitting fours again with 5 minutes left until this report drops. Where do you guys think the bottom of Tesla is? Yeah, this is not financial advice. No idea. Yeah, so we got CB Consumer Confidence data coming out soon. Market's honestly fighting back though, short term. Apple's one of the drivers of it. Here's Nvidia. Nvidia at 119.40s. All right, 4 minutes, chat. 4 minutes. The market has seen a 7-minute rally here. 7 green candles in a row on a 1 minute chart. So 7 green minutes in a row, rallying up into CB Consumer Confidence. CB Consumer Confidence data today is expected. We also have new home sales. 682K is what's expected. CB Consumer Confidence expected at 94.2. We'll put this up on screen. Look at this rally, though, leading into this data. There's 420s, ripping over 420s now as well. Again, this looks like it's mostly driven by Apple. Apple is rising higher. Nvidia, Tesla still down on the day, but Apple is the most heavily weighted stock. It's at 222.50s here, 222.50s. 3 minutes before CB Consumer Confidence reports, though. Yeah, look at 420. It tapped again. That's the range. Honestly, the new range is a little bit bigger though. It's kind of a expanding triangle. Like, look. Palantir here at almost 98. Two minutes. It'll drop to 180 eventually, then from there, double top Tesla. Maybe. Tesla at 275, so maybe that's a milestone level. We got less than 2 minutes, chat. And again, we are day trading on Top Steps funded account program right now. That's what we're day trading on. So if you want to check it out, again, there's no PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the Dow, the Russell. The QQQ price action is the NQ. The SPY price action is the E-mini S&P ES. You can day trade both of them in futures. You can trade mini versions of those with smaller size, which is what you see me trading in futures. No PDT rule. Top Step gives you a 50K demo, test your skill. You pass the test. They fund you. It's only $50 a month. If you fail, which is reasonable 2 to 3 ratio. You got to make 3K without losing 2K. If you fail, you get a practice account with real-time data anyway, which is what it would cost, roughly what it would cost is in the same ballpark as what you're paying for this in general. And if you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. They're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased, but they paid out almost $200 million. If you want to check it out, link is in the chat right here. Great way to help support the channel. Not an investment professional. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Understand CFTC 4.41. We are testing that 420 level again, and we just rejected it again here. So we got less than a minute before CB consumer confidence releases. Less than 1 minute. All right, guys, 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Five, four, three, two, and 1. Here we go. Let's see what we get. 94.2 is what's expected. 92.9 higher than or lower than expected. 92.9 versus 94.2 expected. New home sales showed up weaker than expected as well. Both showed weaker consumer confidence and weaker new home sales. Initially, the market's reacting positively here. But again, we came in at just under 93 at 92.9 versus 94.2 expected. Weaker than expected. We also showed up at 676 for new home sales versus 682 expected. So yeah, the first move's the wrong move, and then look at this weak reaction here. So again, this data showed weaker than expected economy and house price data. CB consumer confidence showed up at 92.9 versus 94.2. The market is now reacting negatively to this report. And again, look at the market react going down here. We'll put this data up on screen so you can see it. Again, new home sales showed up about 7,000 weaker than expected. Or about 6,000 weaker than expected, sorry. So we'll put this up on screen. We'll also put it up in chat. Here it is in chat right now. There's CB consumer confidence. Market is now down on this report. New home sales, again, showed up at 676,000 versus 679. There's the data on screen. You can see it right below me. So the market honestly did react to the CB consumer confidence more than I thought it would. Starting to head down now. Look at this weakness showing up in markets here. So we're now down to 380s here, 375s. Let's see if we bounce at 370s right here, 369, 370s. This is where the other support level was. Rosie, baby, how you doing, baby? Both of you guys get out of here. Hey, buddy. Hey, yeah. Out. Both of you guys, out. Thank you. Freaking dogs, man, running in here. I love them. They're good dogs, but all right. So we did bounce at 369. Look at that spot. Yeah, he's just a troll. He's just gonna get banned. That's all right. Apple at 223s. We did bounce right there. Honestly, we're so rangy today, guys. I don't think I like this market at all. I'm just gonna get out of here. Again, if you want to check out Top Step Day Trade with me, I'll put the link up. You can day trade with me. I want to see Rosie real quick. Here's Rosie. There's the link one more time if you want to help support the channel. Rosie just ran off. I would show you Rosie. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Y'all be good. Too rangy of a market for me, man. Tomorrow we have durable goods and some Fed speakers. So just to put this into perspective, tomorrow we have NBA data, durable goods, wholesale inventories for Canada, crude oil inventories. And then Thursday's the big day. So y'all be ready. Yeah, y'all be safe out there. It's kind of a weird market. But yeah, y'all be good. Hey, I love you all. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be safe in this market. It's a little weird, you know.